Photosynthesis is the only process on Earth by which solar energy is trapped by green plants and converted into food. Photosynthesis is defined as synthesis of carbohydrates or glucose from inorganic materials such as carbon dioxide and water, with the help of solar energy trapped by chlorophyll pigments. This process is unique to green plants and is the final light energy trapping process on which all life ultimately depends. It is one of the most massive chemical processes going on Earth. The atmosphere contains only about 0.03% of carbon dioxide by volume. This small percentage represents 2,200 billion tons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The oceans contain over 50 times the amount of atmospheric carbon dioxide in the form of dissolved gas or carbonates. From these two sources, about 70 billion tons of carbon is fixed by green plants annually. Importance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis and sun energy harnesses the sun's energy into utilizable forms of energy on Earth, a process that most biological organisms are unable to perform. ATP is used to power these processes, converts light energy into chemical energy in the form of glucose. Then the process of cellular respiration converts energy and glucose to energy in the form of ATP, which is used to power biological processes. B. Photosynthesis and carbon dioxide removal converts carbon dioxide into oxygen. During photosynthesis, carbon dioxide leaves the atmosphere and enters the plant and leaves as oxygen, a process which is ecologically and environmentally important in nature. The energy produced by photosynthesis forms the basis of virtually all terrestrial and aquatic food chains. As a result, photosynthesis is the ultimate source of carbon in the organic molecules found in most organisms. The high oxygen concentration in the atmosphere is derived directly from the light reactions of photosynthesis. Prior to the evolution of photosynthesis on Earth, the atmosphere was anoxic. Solar energy transformed by photosynthesis is the source of countless vegetable, animal and organic side products. Wood is a very important material used as fuel and in many fields, including construction. Paper, cotton and other natural fibers consist of cellulose produced almost entirely by photosynthesizing plants. Wool depends on the energy sheep obtain from grass and photosynthesis. Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplasts, organelles in certain plants. All green plant parts have chloroplasts and carry out photosynthesis. The leaves have the most chloroplasts. Chlorophyll is the green pigment that captures light for photosynthesis. These are mainly located in the mesophyll cells of leaves. The carbon dioxide reaches them through the stomata and water reaches them through veins. In higher plants, the chloroplasts are discoid or lens-shaped. Each chloroplast is bounded by a double membrane. Inside the membranes is found a ground substance, the stroma. Inside the stroma is found a system of chlorophyll-bearing double membrane sacs or lamellae. These are stacked one above the other to form grana, singular granum. Individual sacs in each granum are known as thylakoids. All the pigments, chlorophylls, carotenes and xanthophylls are located in the thylakoid membranes. These pigments absorb light of a specific spectrum in the visible region. The pigments are fat-soluble and located in the lipid part of the membrane. With their help of certain enzymes, they participate in the conversion of solar energy into ATP and NADPH. The enzymes of stroma utilize ATP and NADPH to produce carbohydrates. What are pigments? Pigments are defined as the set of compounds that have an intense color and are used in the coloring of other materials. These coloring substances are also called biological pigments or the biochromes, which mainly refers to the true pigments. These biological pigments are insoluble in water and are applied as ground particles in solid form with the liquids. We can find various types of biological pigments in both plants as well as animals. The pigments are produced by living organisms and have color, which results from the color absorption techniques. There are two different types of pigments and are classified based on their sources. Types of pigment in plants. Plants have a unique feature of capturing light energy and converting it into sugars through the process called photosynthesis. The process begins with the absorption of light energy by some specialized form of organic molecules called the pigments. The photosynthesis, a biological process, requires a green-colored pigment called chlorophyll, along with other forms of yellow and red-colored pigments. Other essential plant pigments include anthocyanins, betalains, carotenoids, porphyrins, and much more. All these pigments stimulate the process of chemical reactions by reflecting the wavelengths. Chlorophyll is one of the primary pigments found within the plant cells of all green plants. The green coloring of the plant leaves and the tender part of the stem is due to the presence of a pigment called chlorophyll. The chlorophyll pigment is the most significant and essential pigment, as it plays a vital role in the biological process of photosynthesis. There are different types of chlorophyll pigments, and they are classified mainly based on their structure, functions, and other features. The different types of chlorophyll pigments are: chlorophyll A is found in algae, chlorophyll A is found in cyanobacteria, chlorophyll A is found in all higher plants. Chlorophyll B is found only in green algae, chlorophyll B is found in higher plants. Chlorophyll C is found in certain photosynthetic chromista. Chlorophyll C is found in some marine algae. Chlorophyll D is found only in red algae. Chlorophyll E is found only in algae. Among all these 5 types of chlorophyll pigments, chlorophyll A and B are considered the primary photosynthetic pigments. Carotenes, which are orange, and xanthophyll, which are yellow, are the 2 main types of carotenoids. Carotenoids are the pigments in the form of orange, red, and yellow colors. These compounds are insoluble in water and are attached to the membranes of the cell bodies. These biomolecules are antioxidants that promote good eyesight in humans. Anthocyanins are a type of flavonoid pigments found naturally in all the tissues of the higher group of plants. This pigment functions by providing color to the stem, leaves, roots, fruits, and flowers. Based on their pH, these types of pigments appear red, blue, purple, and other dark colors. Flavonoids are a type of yellow-colored pigment, which are abundantly found in lemons, grapefruit, oranges, and in some dark and yellow-colored flowers. This type of pigment is largely found in the plastids and cytoplasm of the plant cell. Flavonoids are chemicals with antioxidant properties and help in lowering cholesterol levels. Other applications of flavonoids include their extraction and use as dyes. These pigments, such as lycopene and astaxanthin, are also used as dietary supplements in many food products. Phycobilins absorb maximum light in the green parts of the spectrum. Phycocyanin, on the other hand, absorbs in the orange part of the spectrum. Photosystems are clusters of light-absorbing pigments organized to capture sunlight in the chloroplast. Each photosystem contains about 200 molecules of a green pigment called chlorophyll and about 50 molecules of another family of pigments called carotenoids. In the reaction center of the photosystem, the energy of sunlight is converted into chemical energy. This center is sometimes referred to as a light harvesting antenna. There are 2 photosystems, designated photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, located in the thylakoid membranes. The reaction centers of these photosystems are P700 and P680, respectively. The energy captured in these reaction centers drives chemiosmosis, which in turn stimulates ATP production in the chloroplasts. Photosystems I and II are found in the thylakoid membranes of chloroplasts, each with its own set of light-harvesting chlorophyll and carotenoid molecules. Chlorophyll and accessory pigments help to capture light energy and pass it on to the photocenters. A photon absorbed anywhere in the harvesting zone of a P680 center can pass its energy to the P680 molecule. The cluster of pigment molecules transfers their energy to P680, absorbing light at or below the wavelength of 680 nanometers. Together with P680, they form photosystem 2 or PS2. Similarly, P700 forms photosystem 1 or PSI, along with pigment molecules that absorb light at or below 700 nanometers.